First, clearly, as you have understood, the situation is quite complex. We've listened to very passionate people, and we've also had a few questions at the end here. Of course, I know you haven't had much time for, or perhaps not enough time for questions, but we don't have more time, unfortunately. I'd like to thank the professor for mentioning this possibility of turning Iraq into a territory that's considered as part of our universal heritage under the UNESCO. The idea of providing grants to younger people or young people who want to live with others, that's also a good idea, I think. But we have a very complex scenario. I think that if you look at what's happened, after the First World War, all borders started disappearing. Borders have disappeared. What's happened in Iraq is now affecting Syria. So Syria, Iraq, all those countries are now involved in the same kind of conflicts, just like what happened in the Balkans. So when we try to understand who's guilty of what, well, I think we need to take into account all of the dimensions. We need to understand that things can be quite complicated with pros and cons everywhere. And if we look at the history of Iraq, well, one sees that the history of Iraq has always been a complicated and difficult one. But as Pope Francis said, what will need to be done first will be to contain evil. And that is what we have to do. Now, counting dead people and then blaming others is never going to be a good option. I think, as you know, history is full of missed chances due to the lack of trust. There's a total lack of trust right now, and we need to do something to rekindle that trust, and remember what happened in the past, remember what it has had as consequences, and I think we all need to understand what terrorists want. All terrorists, whatever the age, time and place where they have been active, want to divide. And terrorists have a political agenda. And they want to make profit out of a given situation by dividing people. So people will blame everybody and anyone for interfering, but in this case we should not accept that. We should understand that people, if they are divided, will be used. There's always somebody that will go in between when there is a division. It's true everywhere, including in Iraq. So Professor Yacoub was talking about decentralization, others are talking about federalism. We're not here to talk about the constitutional question, but I think we first need trust before anything can happen. And this is true also in other countries. We all need to be involved in this and feel that we are involved in this. All member states of the EU, all other countries, all countries that have some sort of power should really understand that we need to be involved. This is what Italy is doing, by the way. And even the Prime Minister said that well, we need to act. We need to act in all those countries where something is happening. Ukraine is one, Syria is another. We have to talk about Mosul, about Erbil, Amar here. We're all worried. I think Aleppo, of course, is a city that is generating a lot of concern right now. And don't forget, if you haven't done so, that a call was sent a few months ago to help Halep, because we don't want Halep to end up the way Mosul did. And then remember also that there are other cities probably that are in the same situation. Halep for us is a symbol. And we need to deal with the situation there. We need to save Halep. So this call is still active. And it's a petition also, so you should sign it, please. Now we could talk about weapons for a long time. Weapons are useless, basically, if there's no policy behind them about how they should be used. We need to associate the use of weapons with a true policy. And the problem is that we've too often looked only at the short term. We've forgotten about continuity and the need to think long term. I'll stop there because it's time to finish, and thank you very much.